up, you beautiful bastards? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. I know it's Tuesday, so I split Tuesday between Positive Tuesday and Let's Talk. I'm doing this because sometimes they run hand in hand. Sometimes the positive is what we should be talking about, and sometimes I just don't have anything positive to say, like a topic. I can turn most of anything into something positive. So today we're talking about girls and boys versus men and women. Somebody just recently posted with all this child abduction stuff coming to the forefront of social media that calling people boys, calling men and women boys and girls is leading to the problem. I would like to define what I mean by those terms. Like when I say I'm hanging out with the boys, I say boys and not I'm hanging out with the men because we're probably going to drink and do some childlike stuff. Not like, you know what I mean? It's the boys. When I say little girls, I'm not talking about, ooh, I want to bring that girl home. It's more of your attitude and your personality that makes you a woman or a girl in my eyes, and I don't want to mess with little girls. You know what I mean? I don't want to mess with that shit. And the same thing with calling people boys. Like, I've had a freaking problem with all these little boys getting upset because I'm friends with their girlfriends. I've had a couple of them. One whom I've just recently, not recently, it's been a few weeks actually. I stopped talking to altogether because I'm tired of it. She want to play little girl games and she want to be little boys. Then that is totally up to her. But I am not dealing with that crap anymore. I dealt with that crap in high school, and I just she was supposed to come see me, and she decided to go camping with this douche nozzle. Who had outed her before. They weren't really dating, but he clinged on, and he would call or text me to find out if she was, checking on her. Like, really, dude? Get a fucking life. But, no, he threatened, he called her a whore and threatened to put her pictures out. Look, see, that's stuff little boys do. Men don't do that shit. Men don't threaten to put your fucking selfies you sent to them on the fucking internet. That's not what we do. Men take care of the stuff you give us. We lock it away. We don't fucking brag about it. We don't show it. It's for our personal use. It's for us. You send it to us, not the fucking world. Yes, this shit really irritates me. And she's like, she picked that over come and see me. And I realized that it's fucking high school and that she hasn't grown up. So, and I realize that certain women do this. I hear it all the time on the internet. Oh, why aren't men this? Why aren't men this? That's because you keep dating the same fucking loser boyfriend, douche nozzle little boys. Because that's who you were attracted to. So, either date outside of that, or get used to it. Like, that's ridiculous. So, I wonder if that's just not loud enough. I can actually hear the washer machine. That's cool. Or the dryer. And that's all the way. Oh, wow, that's neat. Anyways, that's here nor there. So, yeah. And men do it too, man. They keep, bitch and whine about these, these women that keep breaking their heart, but they keep chasing the ones that are like, damaged from the get-go. And if you date someone who's damaged from the get-go, you got to realize that, and you got to work with that person. Some days are going to have good days, and some days are going to have fucking bad days. But you got to realize that's who you get in a relationship with. Let's see. I consider myself a man and not a boy. There's stuff I've gone through um, that I've picked up and learned and not thrown a hissy fit. I could take this whole divorce thing a whole nother way. I could just cry in the corner and throat stomp my feet. Uh, that's exactly what my buddy Dean did. They came down to visit, and then she decided that she's had enough, but she's also in her early 20s, so she hasn't really experienced much of life. You know, he asked me, well, she's done this before, but if she comes back, and I was like, oh, one of two things. Either you put your foot down, and that's enough, or you come to terms with she might do this repeatedly until she gets this out of her system, you know? Speaking of good men, my ex-wife Chelsea, she's dating Kevin. He is a great guy. The kids absolutely love him. And he's not a little boy. He's a man. He does what is necessary for Chelsea. He tends to her needs. He made her feel special, like the queen she was or is. When I wasn't. I wasn't. I was acting like a selfish little boy, and I can't hate him. This would be all easier if I can just fucking hate him. I absolutely can't do it. And some people ask me, why don't you just, have her not come over? Because she does come over. She visits the kids. We've even had this conversation, her and I, and I could be like, yeah, just don't come over. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. But that would punish my children also. So being the man, letting her come over is not just to visit me, it's to visit the children. And plus, all that stuff is going to be in my mind, whether it's here in front of me or somewhere else. It doesn't matter if she moves to California or overseas somewhere. The moon, it doesn't matter. So it just doesn't matter. Our love is tattooed on my heart. It's tattooed on the inside of my heart. It's one of the reasons why the tattoo on my hand isn't a big deal. Yes, I have this idea for a tattoo of she kissed a piece of napkin. I have it still. And I'm getting it tattooed on my hand. I'm doing this because it's already tattooed on my heart. What's the difference of having it on my hand? And I realize that's going to hinder my relationships going forward, but not really looking forward to relationships going forward. I got to marry, and the woman I love, my soulmate. I got to marry her. She had my child. He's over there. He's over there playing video games. Yeah, so my love life is set, man. So right now I'm working on everything else, growing in every other areas, being the best father to my children, going to school, going to start my business. But this is what men, what's different between men and boys and women and girls. Moving forward, focusing on what you need. And who knows, man, the future is not done and over with. I'm not dead. And apparently he got a kill.
I got 4 kills. What are you talking about?
Oh, I can hear you loud as day. He's got 4 kills. He's the man. But I'm going to teach my son these qualities too. Because he has a big heart. So he's going to love big when he loves. But I'm going to teach him these things. And hopefully that then he's going to make up his own mind. And do as he wishes. But so many people let stuff beat them down and play silly games. Like, how are you going to tell the person you're claiming to love this person, but then you're going to call them a whore and tell them that I'm going to post your nudes on the internet? Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. As you're dealing with little boys, not men. Men who beat women because they have to have control. That's not men, that's boys. Apparently this term going around called simp. Logan
uses
apparently me and Kevin are both simps for Chelsea.
It's where you're nice to a girl that you do anything.
I think it's a weird term. I think it's just being, respectful. There's no reason why I can't do what Chelsea asks. It's not out of my means. It's not killing me. So, yep. That, to me, was my rant. And the difference, man, between some punk who sits around, runs his mouth all day, and somebody who actually stands up and does something. And with that, standing up, I mean for myself, too. I can't. I would be the dude that you keep coming to, after every religion. Like, get out of here, man. I gotta stand up for me and what I want. Which is okay because, again, still, like, that doesn't help my relationships, if I have any. Because they're always going to be compared. And so, what I do is tell people straight up, this is what I'm looking for. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm just honest. And if you like it, then you do. If you don't, then you don't. But it's just me. With that being said, much love, JD. Out.